Hello everyone, this is Ivan with Tempa Tropical Gardens. This video I want to have a walk through my home garden before we get the winter storm. They call this storm once in a generation, and we are expecting temperatures that are below freezing, and obviously this will impact the trees I grow. And so before this happens, I want to document the trees, and then I will have a comparison video coming up after the frost to see how the trees made it through. Okay, so let's begin our walkthrough. And this is my side garden. We're on the side of the house with the road, where on the left side I have the fruit trees. On the right it's all podocarpus, which shields the inside gardens from the wind and cold. Okay, so my first tree here is a seedling Canepa or Spanish lime, which is roughly 5 years old. It has not produced any fruit yet. The next one is a Namdok Mai mango, and sadly this one has such a nice new growth, and it even has the bloom. So unfortunately this all is going to be lost due to the frost. And the next tree is a Longan seedling that actually produced this year for the first time. It's also 5 years old. I still have some fruit hanging there. That's a very beautiful tree. It had been transplanted once already and survived and made it through nicely. This empty spot was used to be a Mauritius lychee that I transplanted. Unfortunately, it didn't make it, but I do have a replacement that will be planted here in the spring. This next one is white mulberry. The tree is about 4 years old and it's getting really tall. Produces a lot of good berries. The next one here is my loquat. This one is a Yehuda. I was told that this was developed in Israel. Has lots of bloom. I'm not concerned about this one just because they are hardy. So I am fairly confident this one will, make it just fine. And here in this corner I have a seedling cherimoya growing. This cherimoya is part of my cherimoyas that I use for grafting. I have about 10 of them growing in various places of the garden. Okay, let's head back to the main area now. The front of the house has my coconut trees as well as more cherimoyas. I did graft some atemoyas on these cherimoyas. Again, lots of fresh growths coming out, and this is the actual atemoya graft. It's a Gefner. So as you can see, I have these mounds at the base of each tree. Now these are manure, and so the idea here is that the manure will radiate the heat, and maybe that will create a shield and protect these trees. My coconuts. Well, let's hope they're still here after all this cold passes. More cherry moya slash Ademoya trees. I will be back to grafting in February. Right now it's still December, so it's a little early for that. Okay, so here's the inner garden. I would say this large tree here is a Jamaican cherry. Beautiful leaves. I know this will suffer a lot. Last year this was badly bitten by the cold as well. Alright, here in this corner I have a Southern Home Muscadine growing. Not too worried about any of the grapes. They should make it just fine. And here in this corner I have my water harvest station, my peanut butter tree. This is a new tree to me, so I don't know how hardy it is. I guess we'll find out. Here in the pot I have a black Suriname cherry. Has not produced any fruit yet, hopefully this year. Next is my brown turkey fig. These lose leaves in the winter time, so that's common the way it appears right now. And this one here is my cherry Rio Grande. Okay. Dragon fruit. These are different varieties. Some American Beauty, some are yellow. And I put them together so they cross-pollinate. My Sapodilla. This one is a macaque. Has blooms, has some fruit set on it. More figs. Here in this pot I have a Jaboticaba. This is a Sabra. It's probably gonna take another 5 years for it to fruit. But they make a very good container plants so far. Here in this corner we have my Gefner Ademoya, which will probably lose all of its foliage after this cold. The next to it is Lisa. It still has one last fruit hanging on it. This gave me fairly good amount of fruit this year. Very delicious fruit too. Okay, next to it I have another Jaboticaba, another Sabra. This here is my key lime tree. That's growing really well. I'm experimenting with pots simply because there is not enough room for all these trees to go in the ground. Now that was a loud garbage truck. Okay, so this one is my pomegranate. It's growing in the pot, doing very well. I do not know what kind of variety it is. It was given to me as a gift, and the people did not know of the variety. Here is my red Ademoya, red Gefner. This here is, I was told this is a pineapple Annona, but it's a cross between pond apple and I'm not even sure what else. I know I wrote it down here, so Annona glabra is a pond apple and Annona muricata is the cross. So we'll see how it turns out. Here in this pot I have my African Pride Atemoya. This one is another red Gefner. And this is my Mauritius lychee replacement tree that's doing really well in this pot. So I let it grow some good root system and then transplant it in the spring. More dragon fruit, sugar apple seedling, custard apple tree, and this one is purple sugar apple. That's also a good productive tree. I would recommend getting. A bunch of pineapples. Now these are grown from the tops, so each time I buy a pineapple at a store I always save a top and I grow them, and then usually the next year or in 2 years they start producing. This tree here it's my Barbados cherry. I got more pineapples here, and this trellis system here is for my muscadines. I have been experimenting with muscadines for several years, including the seedlings, and I can record a separate video on this topic if there will be an interest. But so far I have the Supreme, I have this one is my Jumbo, and this here is just a new plant. It's a whole muscadine, and I have Carlos here and another Jumbo here, and that's the back of my house. This is here is my 3 Campanian starfruit. So it's been in the ground for 3 years now, and it's finally starting to produce for me. And as you know, they produce in winter time. Fairly large size fruit. Very nice. I have my seedlings here, some red Jabuticabas, some mangoes that will be grafted, another Spanish lime here in the pot, another Barbados cherry here, more pots ready to be used. As I said, not enough room to plant everything, so have to go with the pots. More trellises. This here is my Thompson seedless, which was supposed to be a Terra muscadine, but a vendor sent me Thomas by mistake. Thompson is a bunch grape, and I was told that here in Florida the bunch grapes will get Pearson disease, but so far it's been growing for at least 3 years and gave me a bunch of fruit and never had a problem. So far I call it a success. I have another custard apple here. This one is the green sugar apple. And this here is the macaque or Malish sapodilla. I have to check to be sure. Yes, that's a Malish sapodilla here. More dragon fruit. And of course pineapples. This side of the fence has trellises with different grapes as well. Another Barbados cherry. A jackfruit. The vendor said the name of the jackfruit is Crunch, but I've looked it up and I've never seen this variety, any information about it online, so we'll see. It's probably gonna be crunchy once it develops the fruit. But This here is another Jaboticaba, a sabara that was in the pot for, I would say, 3 years, and I finally transplanted it into the ground. It's doing good so far. This here is my poncho avocado, surrounded by the seedlings of Brazilian papaya. Very nice, productive, smaller size fruit, but it's very sweet and aromatic. This here is my pink guava tree. And this tree is originally a sugar apple seedling, but as you can see, I grafted some Lisa eremia on it, so half of the tree is still a sugar apple and the other half is Lisa. And this grew really well over the summer. More papayas, black sapote. This little guy will need to be covered. And this one is my Florida Prince peach. Okay, going to the front of the house, I have a bunch of moringas, mostly used for chop and drop as a nitrogen fixer. This tree here is my pink pomelo. That's very exciting. It's flowering for the first time. It's been in the ground for 3 years, just like the rest of the citrus trees I have here. This is my citrus grove in the front of the house. More moringas, more dragon fruit, some kumquats. This is my Honeybell Tanangelo tree. This here is Meyer lemon, bunch of new growths and some fruit. This here is Page orange, also nice new growths developing. Ruby red grapefruit, still has some fruit on it. And here I have an experiment tree. It's a seedling from basically a yellow pomelo. So we'll see what it will turn into. And as you can see, there is a podocarpus around to protect. So the idea here is again to shield the garden, and again manure, mounds of manure everywhere on the perimeter to radiate the heat. And finally, the jackfruit seedling surrounded by papayas and moringas. This jackfruit seedling is probably 5 years old. I let it grow as tall and big as it wants. It's an experiment tree. I do not know how it's going to taste because it had been given to me. And this is the second year it's producing flowers. Last year were just male flowers. Here they were all male flowers. This year we do have some female flowers developing as well. Here's one. And there are more up there. I don't know if you can see them. So we'll see. Hopefully it will taste it soon and determine whether I should keep it or not. And if not, just like with any other tree, I'm not gonna be sad just because, you know, if the tree has to go for some reason, there will be a room for another tree to be planted. So I think it's a good thing. I have some China jackfruit replacement, so this will not be any loss to me. Okay, so this is my quick walk around, and if you have questions, as always, post them and I will be happy to record more videos. If you are interested in any particular topic, just let me know down below in the comment section and I will be happy to record it for you. Okay, stay warm, stay safe, keep growing, and have a good day. Bye.